We're talking.
Top of the morning to everyone here, and welcome back to our podcast.
We're talking.
Yes. So today we're going to be explaining and talking about a very, very fun topic, which is STEM in education. So before we start, I would like to first introduce our guests here. Number one, me, your host first and foremost, your host, Lo, and my guest here, Pradama Guru. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing.
Or Haruksana, how are you today?
I'm great.
So now that everyone is so great, we can continue on with our discussion. So I would first like to preface this by saying what STEM is. Now, contrary to popular belief, STEM is actually not just the body of a plan. It is an acronym of four different things, but they are also related in some way. Number one, S stands for science, T stands for technology, E stands for engineering, and M stands for mathematics. So in our world, especially a world with so much technological advancement, STEM is basically the basis of every single thing on Earth. So, to start everything off with a banger, let's start with a question, guys. What do you guys think of STEM? Just keep it brief or anything like your thoughts about STEM.
Well,
STEM is useful. STEM
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
STEM is everywhere.
Yeah.
And we should use STEM more.
STEM is used in our daily lives. It's good for critical thinking, problem solving, and also it's good for high advanced jobs in the future, such as doctors or engineers.
Exactly. So you see now the reason why we need STEM so badly is because we in our world is are the main source, the main thing in our world is money, right? So with STEM, the reason why doctors get paid so much is because not enough people are in those fields. Engineers get paid so much because not enough people are working in those set fields. So, in order to incentivize these types of jobs, we obviously would need to advocate for more STEM in our education,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay, so let's start off with a question. How old are you guys? What form are you in?
I'm in Form 3. I'm 15.
And I'm also 15.
Oh, what a coincidence! I'm also 15. So next year is obviously our big break into our university applications and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So right now we have two main streams that we can follow. We can either follow the pure science stream or we can follow the art stream, where we learn about business and other language arts and stuff like that. So do you guys think that an additional stream should be involved in the system that we have now that is mainly focused on STEM? Now, it's not just biology and stuff like that. They're focused on really, really like niche subjects like theoretical mathematics and stuff like that. Do you think that is a good idea to be implemented into our system?
To be honest, yes. We do need to have a new stream.
And I actually think no. Because this is just too much workload for us. It will just make us have more workload and it will just make the system more weird, honestly.
Okay, well, I do get what you're saying, but like, it isn't forced upon students, right?
Yeah.
Students can still choose the stream. based on
Yeah,
what
I know,
they're
but
good at.
like we also have to look at the
Lower class.
people who are working for these subjects. Now that there's a higher demand for these subjects, there will be more jobs for people, right? But what if there aren't enough people to take these jobs? So then that would mean that not every school would have a STEM program, and that would mean a lot of systems would have to be overridden and stuff like that. And also, we haven't talked about the funds yet, and
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I understand, but
That's one thing.
okay, I understand, but like, the reason there's not enough people teaching it is because there's not much programs like this. Because
Yeah,
when there's a
true,
science stream,
honestly.
right, people always ask you whether you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be a brain
Yeah.
surgeon, but they never go into the specifics. Like, are you interested in space? Are you interested in the deep sea?
Yeah, maybe you're interested in like the human body, heart.
Yeah,
Can't
like
specifically,
cardiologists and
yeah.
everything, and those are often
Honestly.
underlooked. And
Yeah.
to not be black and white, the remedy I suggest is that we just combine both of the streams together to make one stream that will make
Yeah.
everything so much more easier. Because see, the thing is, if you take pure science, you're going out there with scientific knowledge, obviously. That means you would be able to go into work into the medical field and stuff like that. But you don't have the knowledge to do business. Now, this is why it's so important. You have to understand how the economy works, how to file your freaking taxes. You have to understand how money works in order to work a single
Yeah.
job. So
Exactly.
my personal recommendation is that we should just combine both of the streams together. Let science students be able to take
Yeah.
business and economics and stuff like that. Just let them be able to take everything.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
agree.
you agree. So now let's move on into another topic that we are very familiar about,
Ooh.
and that both of our students here have won in.
Do you see?
A STEM competition. Woo! So, guys, competitions are there so that people can go and have fun, get something in return, whether that be knowledge or just like gifts, credits in general, or just a platform to
Trophies.
showcase.
Yeah.
Yes, a platform to showcase their abilities and stuff like that. So, do you guys think competitions, especially now, should they prioritize STEM?
No,
No,
no, absolutely not.
no, we
No.
both disagree. Okay, so STEM is important, but that doesn't make it more important than other subjects
Yeah,
and other
students might have like
competitions.
other abilities like
Exactly.
language. Language is important.
Exactly.
Bahasa
For
Malaysia in
public
our
speaking, poetry, all these are essential for our society, for
Yeah.
its philosophical society and everything like that. And while STEM is important, as we've all know, it does not prove to be more important than philosophical
Yeah.
subjects and philosophical competitions as well.
Okay, so because you guys have said that, I've thought about a very evil question for all of you. Okay, do you think these competitions actually help? Like, as two students who have recently won the Young Scientist competition all the way in the other school, do you guys think that competition actually helped you, or did it just like minimally?
Honestly, like it did,
It did help us,
me a
but
bit.
it's quite minimal.
Yeah, a bit
It's
minimal.
quite minimal, but it did help, of
Yeah,
course.
it is.
You see, because once we won that, right, we have a higher
More
motivation.
confidence,
We have
yeah.
confidence. We have motivation that we're better in science and we can do better in science.
Yeah.
And obviously, if there's a next competition, we would be the ones
And I
joining
feel
and we
like
would want to join.
because the Young Scientist competition is based on experiments,
Exactly.
it's like a very fun way of learning
Exactly.
instead of just like learning in textbooks.
And you actually get to remember stuff because
Yeah.
it's linked to your happy memories and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So we totally agree.
Okay,
It does
great.
help.
So right now in schools, there's this kind of like problem going on where quote unquote the academically weak classes don't really get the same opportunities as the classes who are quote unquote academically strong. So that would mean that if we want more people to be interested in science, we need to expose them to science first. So what do you guys think would be the perfect solution to this? Like any solution to this?
In my opinion, right? Wait, you can go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, thank you. So, in my opinion, I feel like STEM, right, as a whole, it should be accessible to everyone, no matter their class. They shouldn't be based on their classes, but they should be based on how good they are in those
In
specific
certain subject,
subjects,
yeah.
right? You get it, right? So, and this would just break the entire boundary of these boundaries, like you said, like these academically gifted students over academically weak students, because half of the time, right, even when students are good at specific subjects, they're weak at others. You can't just win them all. You can't be an all-rounder. So it needs to be really accessible to almost everyone. What's your
Yeah.
opinion on this?
Actually, we can
Really
promote
curious.
science through like social media or anything like that, and students will be interested because social media is open to everyone.
Yeah, but the thing is that we cannot like guarantee students will just look through social media for
They need the
science.
motivation.
Yeah, they need the motivation.
For motivation, I think so. I feel
Teachers
like
play a crucial
we
role.
should like incentivize competitions.
Yeah.
Like we should make the gifts higher or more rewarding, right? Instead of just getting a trophy, they can get something maybe like money,
yeah.
or they can have
Scholarships.
No, I think that is a good bar to set, but the thing is with these academically weak students, they aren't necessarily able to compete in these competitions. It's mostly because they're overshadowed by other people who want to join these competitions. So like in my opinion, I think it's mostly up to the school, because if we truly want our students to actually improve, we need them to have a chance at everything that they
Everyone
can.
should have
Yes,
equal
everyone should have a chance, and it shouldn't be about just upholding the prestige of the school. It should be about actually teaching people, actually
If
exposing.
we want a better future generation.
Yes.
and also to avoid these like monopolies in competitions, right? We could have more team-based competitions. We could
Yeah.
have group competitions. It could also like create a lot stronger sense of teamwork between these people.
So, because you guys have just said that, do you guys agree with my stance, which I will share right now because I am kind of self-centered. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
So,
Go on.
I believe that team competitions are way better than solo competitions because when one person is not gifted in an area, another person can make up for that. So, do you guys largely agree with this, or do you think that the the harms outweigh the benefits?
Well, there are pros and cons.
There
of
are pros and
both.
cons, but I feel like I agree. What about you? Do you agree?
I don't really agree because in team competitions, there can be a person who's doing most of the work, and
True.
there can be one person who's not doing any work at all. But
True.
in the end, if they win, everyone gets the reward. So it's not fair. And solo competitions can level up your skill better than other competitions. Like teamwork, just like it prepares you for the future generation.
Exactly.
Like that.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, so on to our last topic of the day, which we might have to discuss quite briefly. AI. What do you guys think of AI in education?
AI
Do you guys
is-
oppose? Do you guys agree with AI? What do you guys?
I mean, I agree with it, but just to a level.
AI is a slippery slope because
Yeah.
okay, once you get into AI, right, you realize that it has a lot of harms actually. Okay, on surface glance, it may seem like something with a lot of benefits. Like it can give you stuff really easily, and that's true. But there's a lot of negative impacts of it. There's global warming. There's
Water.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
water.
The water, like AI prompts use cooling. They use water for cooling, and this cooling uses obviously heat energy and creates global warming, and also funds a lot of global warming from there.
And another thing that I think is really important to mention is that right now in our current age, TikTok is a thing.
Yes.
Right now,
TikTok is a thing.
unfortunately, TikTok is a thing, and now we have birthed children who have really, really narrow attention spans. Like people cannot focus on a video for more than 5 seconds.
seconds.
Literally,
Exactly.
5-second videos. They cannot focus on more than 5 seconds. So the reason why I think AI is harming our current generation is because they already have really low attention spans, and we're just perpetuating that even more of AI.
We're spoon-feeding them.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're literally spoon-feeding them with information.
AI.
Yes, exactly.
Without them putting
Yes.
effort to
Yeah.
search for it. All they have to do is just
For example,
write
the
a sentence
ChatGPT.
in, click send, and they get an entire essay.
yeah.
And that's just unfair.
They get an entire essay while harming the economy,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
environment.
Like honestly, right?
It's also really selfish,
Yeah.
actually. When you
Yes,
think about
it's
it.
really selfish when you can just search for the information yourself. You know why? Because ChatGPT essentially just takes information from places that are already available and just condenses it into a really readily readable form. But you can just read stuff and research stuff on your own.
All you need to do is just put effort.
The effort.
You put in effort, you get to learn about the virtue of patience. You get to learn about putting effort in things. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
In my opinion, I also think AI is the reason why this generation's attention span is also really lacking. Because these people are so normalized to AI, right? They're so normal with the idea that information will just come to you, so they don't have to put in effort.
So like we've actually talked about the cons of AI. What about the benefits of AI in education?
the benefits would be that I guess teachers would have less on their plate
Yes.
Yeah,
because
true.
Yes.
less on their plate because these AI these bots can basically help teachers with menial tasks like
True.
organizing their
Yes, yes.
worksheets and stuff like that. Lesson plans, yes, lesson plans, the most
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
thing. Yes, they can help with lesson plans essentially. Like you with your mom as
Yeah.
a teacher.
As my mom is a teacher, right? She has a lot of work to do and a lot of work to put in when she's creating simple lesson plans. And these things about lesson plans is that you can only use them like once for a specific class, and then you have to change them. You have to do new ones. And with like AIs like ChatGPT, right? We can just save so much more time. It can be so much more efficient when you use it correctly.
And like it also removes the strain from students because as we know,
Exactly.
we suffer from backaches from carrying our backpacks
Yes.
just like that. So it's better if we just bring one laptop to school and all of our textbooks are
Yes,
in there.
exactly. Digitize literally everything
Yeah.
about our things. E-paper. We get to save trees. We get to save the environment. Boom. Problem solved. Okay, so I can see that our time is running out. Unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna miss you so bad. So, with that, I will end this podcast here on a very quick note. Education is important. Stay in school, kids. Don't drop out. Please. Okay. Thank you for listening
We're
We're
talking.
talking.
podcast, and we would see you again in the next episode.
Bye.
Everyone.